Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Normally we have our digestible news on Mondays. However, today we have a special guest.
Hello.
This is my longtime friend, Amber.
Hello, thanks for having me.
And we were hanging out, having a conversation, and we thought it would be really fun. Actually, we're playing the balance game. You know balance game, of course. And we thought it would be really fun. What if we had a small podcast where two Americans played balance game at our intermediate digestible news level. So today we have a long list of balance game questions. We're going to do one at a time. Sound good? If you like this idea, or if you like what we do after this, please give us a like, and you can subscribe as well down below. Or comment and tell us what we can do to make it better for you to study English. All right? Let's get started. Sound good?
Yes.
All right. So our first balance question, let's see. How about this one?
Okay.
Become famous for something embarrassing or become rich for something unethical. And unethical is an adjective. It means to do something morally not good, not correct, like to do something bad. For example, stealing money from a company or from a person, maybe robbing them with a gun, something like that, okay? So, would you rather become famous for something embarrassing or become rich for something unethical?
For me, I think I would become famous for something embarrassing because it only affects me.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, maybe longtime viewers of this channel saw a short I did some time ago where I was comparing pronunciations for English, American English versus British English. And the problem is my other language is German. So when I said one of the pronunciations for British, I said it in the German pronunciation.
Oh no.
And that video went, it's not viral, but there was a lot of views and a lot of people were a little bit upset. However, I would rather be embarrassed than do something to hurt someone else like that, like you said.
Or like embarrassing could also be a mistake.
Yeah, that's
true. A simple
true.
Mistake that others laugh at, but it doesn't affect other people.
True.
Or like hurt them or cause them problems.
Yeah.
Whereas being unethical but making money off of it is kind of embarrassing.
I think that's more embarrassing, right?
Right?
Like when someone does something unethical and it becomes in the news,
right?
It's forever. That's what that's your legacy.
Right.
But I guess it depends what kind of embarrassing. Like what, for example, what if you became famous for a viral video of like something embarrassing at a water park?
Oh.
Right?
I see.
So maybe it could be a little... that's hard.
But you could also say, okay, if it's embarrassing, do other people get to laugh at it?
That's true.
Does it bring them some kind of like fun?
Right.
Or like, does that person need a laugh right now? And if it's at my expense, again, it doesn't affect other people negatively.
Right.
Like it's not bad to them.
Right. It doesn't affect them negatively, meaning that it just affects us negatively.
Right.
And if we're embarrassed, it's okay. I think we just don't want to hurt other people.
I think that's it. Yes, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, we would rather hurt ourselves and make everyone laugh than hurt other people and make money.
But also, like, if it's embarrassing in a right way and I can laugh too, then it's like win-win. We both get something good.
Do something really embarrassing, laugh at it yourself, and then make a video on YouTube and make a lot of money. Right,
and now you're famous for something ethical.
Yeah, you're famous something ethical, embarrassing, and you're taking control of it, right?
Right.
That's that's probably the best answer.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Ooh, I like it. And there was, was it this one? What about this one?
Oh, yes. Okay, I like that one.
Okay, would you rather have one best friend or 10 pretty good friends?
Do you want to start this one?
Yeah. That's okay. So I think I have a lot of friends, but I don't have many very close friends.
Right.
Right. But if I had to say, for example, someone says, like, oh, here's a good expression, gun to my head.
Oh.
Gun to my head, meaning you have to choose one.
Right.
There's no other option.
Like right now.
That you pick it or you die. So you gun to my head, I have to choose my big group of kind of good friends or my very close friends, instantly my very close friends.
Right, yeah.
Without any hesitation. So I guess for me, my answer is one best friend.
True.
Because, I mean, better question.
Okay.
One best friend or your small group of closest friends?
Ooh.
And that one best friend has to leave.
Oh, okay. I have to choose the best friend.
Yeah, it has to be best friend.
It has to be,
It has
right?
to be
Because
best friend.
they know everything.
Yeah, right.
They know everything, but also it's like in English we say like my ride or die.
Yeah, ride or die.
They're there for everything.
Yeah.
Like you never know if those 5, let's say 5 or 10 good friends, but like what do they get out of it, or
Right.
what will cause them to leave? Where I
Right.
feel like your best friend has seen every side of you.
True.
And it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So like they saw you on your worst day,
Yeah.
like, or they saw your biggest mistakes and they were still there.
They still choose you.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I have to choose my best friend.
Yeah, I think so too. I think having a best friend is one of the best things in the world, actually.
Yes. Yeah. Like, because it's not like a sibling or a family member where it's like required.
Right.
Or like, required. Like they're required to love you because they're family.
Right.
Whereas like a best friend chooses to stay with you.
It's something I frequently say is my family is with me for my life, even if we fight, right?
Right.
They're always your family.
Right.
Your friends, you can always stop.
Yes.
But the fact that you don't,
Right.
because you don't stop being friends, it becomes a better relationship.
I
right?
agree.
A stronger one. Because at any point, if I mess up, they're gone.
Right. Yeah. No. And I feel like friends will also hold you accountable for
True.
things where family may overlook it or judge you.
Because they have to put up with you.
Right.
To put up with, to deal with. They have to constantly see you. So, yeah, Corey's weird, but what can we do? You
Right.
know? But your friends will say, hey, stop doing that.
Right.
Are you
like,
stupid?
What are you doing? Yeah. This
Yeah.
isn't you. Stop.
Yeah, exactly.
They kind of keep you grounded.
I agree. One best friend is better. Because even with multiple with multiple friends, a smaller group of friends, a less close group of friends, they won't hold you accountable too. They're kind of like family too, because you only see each other sometimes.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
And that brings up the question of like, what kind of friend too, right? Like your
True.
best friend, you can do everything. Like you're sick, you
Yeah.
still see them, or
That's true
you want
too.
to go somewhere, you go with that friend. But you have those friends that these are friends for this reason.
Yeah.
For example, like this is my coffee friend. I only see them to go to coffee. Or
Yeah.
this is my friend I see going to class.
Right.
If you go to class. So
And some of those friends, they say this is my best friend, but they only meet once a year
right.
or like 5 times a year.
Right.
Are you talking about that kind of best friend? Or are you talking about I'm sick and I want to go to a pharmacy, let's go together?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Or like,
that's
can I
different.
put you on the paperwork when I'm at the hospital because I
Right.
don't have anyone else here?
True. That's very true. Yeah.
Right.
That's a big question.
Right.
All right. So our next question, I think we're going to do a random one.
Ooh,
This will be
okay.
kind of fun.
This will be fun.
So let's just random pointing one. Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
This is a good one. Would you rather have a super memory, you can remember literally everything, or would you rather be able to learn things instantly? Because there's a difference, right?
Yeah.
Super memory, I can remember someone's face perfectly. I can remember a book perfectly. But that doesn't mean I can learn how to do something. But if somebody did like a trick on a bicycle, you could instantly learn how to do the trick.
But would you remember it? Does not having the good memory affect that? Or is that like you still have your like like your normal memory?
I think you have your same normal memory.
Okay.
But you can just learn how to do something really well.
I see.
That's an interesting question.
I'm kind of like, I think I would rather learn things instantly. Because that means that you can constantly change and make a new version of yourself, but like not necessarily lose who you are. But if you're able to learn things quickly, you can see things from other people's perspective rather than holding on to memories that are already over.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you can honestly, you could travel the world and learn so many things.
Right.
So you could learn like many native or indigenous dances or languages.
Yeah.
You could help them preserve native or indigenous or endangered, meaning like they're about to disappear, like endangered species, endangered language. You could help preserve those as well.
Yeah. And with that, I think learning languages in general, you learn a lot.
Yeah, you can.
Because you learn the culture, but you also get to talk to people that maybe you wouldn't talk to.
True.
Because of the language itself.
That's so true. Like living in Korea and like you meet people that can speak English or speak Korean and you can expand your horizons. Expand your horizons is a good phrase too, right?
Yeah, right.
Expand your horizons is to, like, if you have a limited view of the world, to expand it, the horizon being the line on the edge of the, like when you look at the ocean, for example, you can see the horizon where the ocean meets the sky. So to expand it means to make it bigger, so you can see more things. Yeah. So I think I have the opposite feeling.
Really?
I think I want to have a super memory.
Okay.
Because if I can remember everything perfectly, I can reference it for whatever I want to do. So I guess the thing about super memory is I'll have to read it all. Like I cannot just know everything instantly. But if I can remember, but then, okay, here's the opposite side. Here's the problem side.
Okay.
Super memory means everything.
Everything.
So you can remember every argument, every negative thing in perfect detail.
Yeah.
So sometimes you need to let stuff go.
Or something you saw that you wish you didn't.
Yeah, that's true too.
I want to forget that.
Yeah, we want to get rid of, yeah, right? You see something and it's stuck in your memory in perfect detail.
No.
Like, as we say, some younger people will say in 4K.
In 4K, no.
So it's like perfect image.
Yes, I would rather delete that memory if possible.
I think the more fun life would be to learn things instantly. Except the bad side of that is the joy of learning is gone.
True.
You can never have fun learning anymore. You just do everything instantly. Do you think you'll become, new vocabulary, jaded? Jaded means like you get so used to something that you don't care anymore. So like if you have a lot of money, you become jaded towards travel, for example. Going to Thailand is something you do on the weekend, not something you do for vacation. So you become jaded. So do you think you would become jaded if you learned everything instantly?
I think you would forget to be humble.
True.
Too. Like you would forget to be thankful that you can make mistakes and recover from them.
Yeah.
Rather, you're just good at everything, so nothing is exciting anymore.
True. Because someone that just starts a new hobby often has a kind of bad attitude about it. And someone who does the hobby for a long time is usually pretty humble.
Right.
But if you do everything perfectly, I think you'll have a bad attitude about everything.
Do you think you would also like project that bad attitude onto other people?
Maybe.
As in like, well, I did this very quickly. Why don't you understand?
Maybe. That's possible.
That would be horrible.
I think an important part is, are you born with this or did you get it? Because if you're born with it, it changes your personality.
Right.
But if you get it later, I think you can maybe temper to control, temper yourself to be a better person, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
Like you can remember what it's like to be a beginner
to be
at
a
something.
beginner, to be normal.
Right. Or, well, yeah, I guess normal.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, I do remember what it's like to have to start from zero and learn something from the beginning rather than, well, I've always been good at it, so I don't understand why other people aren't.
Yeah. You could never really teach yourself well because you don't know how to learn it, right?
Oh, that's true.
But you could become famous for learning something and doing it perfectly.
But then there's the jaded thing.
That's true.
If you're famous again for everything and you're like, oh, but it's easy to me.
This one's hard.
It is hard.
So actually, guys, what do you think? If you think mega super good memory or learning everything instantly, which one is more important? Or which one would you rather have? You can let me know in the comments down below. And as you know, every time you put a comment, I read all of them, of course. And if you leave an answer, I'll help you change it to a more authentic English, as usual. So please leave those in the comments down below. All right, let's go to our next question. Because I think we can't answer that one well.
It's Not really, but really I do want to see what other people have to say.
Yeah, me too. Sure. I'm really curious. Convince us.
Yes. Yes.
Random, or did you see one that you'd like to
Let's just do random. That was fun. Oh. Oh, no.
Okay, this one's hard. Is it hard? Okay, Here we go. Live off nothing but vending machine food for a whole year, or live off nothing but canned goods for a whole year. This is okay. I mean, we have canned things in Korea, but the amount of canned food is not as much as America. It's an important cultural point here.
Right.
We have a lot of canned foods in the US. And when we were growing up too, there was a ton of canned foods.
Right.
I mean, of course, there's canned fruit and things here.
True.
But there's a lot of canned foods in the U.S.
I think this depends on where you live.
That's true too.
Because vending machines were not as popular.
That's true.
Where we grew up,
right.
But the things in the vending machines were not
food. Usually,
it's like snacks,
and that's usually only in a hospital
or the laundromat.
That's true. Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
So let's assume we're living in America.
Okay.
And we have access to a snack machine.
Okay.
And we have access to a drink machine, the average ones.
Okay.
Or we have average canned foods. Now, which one would you rather live for a year on?
A year?
A year.
That's terrible. Okay, so do you want sugary drinks and snack food?
Yeah,
from
snack
the vending
foods
machine?
Being usually candy bars or chips.
Or like cookies.
Sometimes cookies, yeah.
Right? Or do you want overly processed?
Sometimes, or like lots of sugar
salt
and salt.
Or sugar and fake food.
That's true
too.
To
be honest.
Yeah.
In a can.
Yeah. Okay, right off, my preference is canned because I like beans.
Okay.
I can have like 6 varieties of beans and then have some like canned peaches or something.
Right, okay.
And have some canned meats. There's some canned meats. They're not great.
True.
But they're protein, you know?
Actually, does Spam count? We have Spam in America too.
Yeah,
I know that's big here. Like, does that count?
It should. I think it counts because it's a pull-top can.
Okay.
Yeah,
and tuna.
Fun.
Hey, there's tuna.
Okay,
protein.
I decided.
We're good.
Yeah, cans.
We're good.
Cans. There's no way I would live in a vending machine.
For sure. I couldn't do it. Because also, like, okay, unlimited cans, but is the vending machine unlimited or does it run out?
Well, let's guess that it's both unlimited.
Okay.
Because otherwise it would be like, even still, that doesn't change my opinion.
No.
I don't want to eat candy bars forever.
Well, like you said, you like beans. My first thought was like cranberry sauce.
I mean, yeah.
The cranberry sauce is very popular at holidays, especially like Thanksgiving or Christmas. And it's just cranberries mashed into a gel. And that sounds really nasty. But it's actually really good.
Yeah, I agree.
So you can have your beans, I can have my cranberry sauce, and we can share the fruit.
Yeah, okay. All right, now we're going to do our last question for today. We're going to do random one more time. And this question. Oh, we just did
the
that
same
one. Whoops.
Okay.
Let's move this around so we can guess. And this one.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
Oh.
This one's tough, actually. Okay, wait, we should just read it first. Yeah. Have a year off of work fully paid, or never have to commute to work again. Now, at first, this doesn't sound like a good balance question. But
No.
after that 1 year, you go back to work and you have to commute for the rest of your life, right? It's 1 year paid. And you can do whatever you want, but the rest of your working life, you must commute like normal, or never commute again. See, this is where this is a little peek behind the curtain is an expression. It means you can see behind the scenes. You can see something about our real life. I don't commute very much. My commute is very, very short.
Nice.
But
I commute almost 2 hours one way from my house to my job every day.
Yeah, so it's a total of almost 4 hours
Right.
of commuting
Yes.
versus me being maybe 10 minutes.
Lucky.
So I think this will have a very interesting outcome
Yes.
because I still agree I would rather never commute over having a year off.
Really?
Because in the future, I don't know how much I'll have to commute.
Okay.
So I may move or I may change jobs. And I can never guess
The time.
what the time will be at that
Right.
time. And depending on the future, you never know. I may have a 2-hour commute later.
True.
And if I have 0 commuting time, then that saves, in your case, 4 hours a day, 20 hours a week.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
don't wanna talk
part-time
about
job,
it.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
and that's not paid.
yeah, exactly. So I would choose never to commute because I can live anywhere, right? That sounds amazing.
I guess too, we have to think about like how do you commute? Because think about America, we don't have public
That's true.
transportation in a lot of places, or at
That's
least where
true.
we grew up.
Yeah.
So you have people that have to drive.
Yeah, a
So
lot.
it's like, okay, well, if they're driving, they're paying for their gas,
Yeah.
they're paying for car maintenance,
Car insurance.
insurance, the car itself,
Yeah.
or maybe toll roads.
Yeah, my brother paid toll roads for a long time, like every day.
Right. So it's like, okay, but that right there is going to be more than the money you make off of a year
True.
paid. However, if you live in a place with public transportation, like I would never wish my commute on people, but there are people that do it, obviously.
Yeah. What she mean to wish on like that is she would never want other people to have that commute.
Right.
Is that meaning? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want them to have that experience.
Right.
Especially for a long time.
Yeah.
But that year off,
You really want that year off,
I
right?
do.
Oh, that's so interesting because my commute is quite small, but I'd rather never commute. But your commute is quite long, but you'd
Yeah.
rather have a year off.
But I think about some of the things that have happened on my commute. Like, yes, things are not great,
Yeah.
but maybe on the way to work, you have something you do, like your ritual, something
true
you do
too.
every day. Like, oh, I get my coffee on my way to work,
That's
and
true
that
too.
starts my day.
Right.
Or I go to the gym
Mm.
immediately after work. So that's like the way home. There's something to look forward to. But if you don't commute to work, does that mean that you live in your workplace?
That's a good point too.
Because I don't want that.
We can let's guess that in this case you can wherever you live you can like have some sort of teleport to be there like within like 2 minutes to 5 minutes, or you have some shuttle that takes you hyperspeed or monorail or something.
But isn't that commuting though?
No, that's in the minutia is the tiny details, by the way, is what that means. Then I guess so, but I guess we should assume then that it's teleport
Okay.
because that makes it not commuting.
In that case,
Yeah.
you could sleep in
Yes, exactly.
every day and
Yeah.
wake up right before you have to be at work.
Exactly.
Like toothbrush, boom, I'm at work. Cool.
Right.
Because, yeah, waking up at 5 a.m. every day is not fun.
And then when you finish work and have a short commute, you just go right home immediately. Like it's real close. You don't have to think about like, oh, I have to go home and take a shower and do all this.
True.
I'll be in bed in like 4 hours. It's just instant, you know?
I want to know what other people have to say on this
Yeah,
one.
I am 100% on the don't commute, but I think that you're trying to be, you're not sure.
I'm not.
So you need to convince her. So
Yes.
whatever you guys think, put it in the comments down below. I'm very curious. Yeah, so those are our big questions, which was, would you rather commute or never commute, but get a year off fully paid? Or our other questions were living off of vending machine food for a whole year, or off of only canned foods.
Right.
And I'm curious, in Korea, because the canned food variety is still there, but would you like to eat Korean canned foods, or would you rather try like American canned foods?
Oh, good
Because I of
question.
course want American canned foods because there's so many types of things, right?
Right.
But if it's mostly fruit, maybe it'll be kind of hard to,
Right. Yeah.
to eat.
True.
And we had to be embarrassed because you're famous. Would you rather be famous from being embarrassed or make a lot of money doing something morally wrong?
Right.
Yeah. So again, let us know in the comments down below. And if you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you guys think we should do next. And would you like to have Amber here again? Was it fun to listen? And yeah, it was fun to have her here, and she can do more with us in the future.
Sure.
If you guys would like. And also, if you'd like to join this channel, you can join the join button down below. And in the future, there will be some member-only content. It's coming, I promise. I know I said that for the past maybe 2 weeks. I promise things have been a little crazy, so as you know, from last week. So that will be coming soon as well. Anyway, it was good to see you guys, and we'll have more News Made Simple this Wednesday. And then following that, we'll have another advanced level. I heard you in the comments. I heard you. You guys do want the advanced level videos. So I will make another one with the same format, and let me know in that video what you guys would like to change, because I will keep evolving it for what you guys want, because I'm your personal English teacher here on YouTube. So in the future, I'd like to see you again. And remember, stay curious, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
See you.